Hello, hello. Welcome to day 2 of Plan Like a Pro for guaranteed weight loss. All right, guys, if you're ready for weight loss to be sort of an automated no-brainer, if you're ready to take charge of your weight loss journey, or if you're just a busy lady like I am, but life just keeps getting in the way of your weight loss goals, then this video's for you. So I'm Stacy Portugal. I'm a board certified coach, life coach, and I am a weight loss coach. And I have had approximately about almost 800 people go through detoxes. So I've been very fortunate to help loads of people get rid of the sugar in their life. And I'm really excited to announce that I'm going to be doing a small group sugar detox, and it's called 14 Days to Sugar Freedom. So I just want to let you guys know that it is coming in March, and it is really perfect if you want to gain support to tame your cravings and to turn the corner to control. So just wanted to announce that. Really excited about it. Yeah, so all good stuff, guys. Okay, so let's kind of begin with a quick review of yesterday's day 1 of Plan Like a Pro. So we talked yesterday of planning like a pro and why it's important to incorporate planning for just minutes a day into your weight loss routine in order to really get past this stubborn weight. More than likely, these are just lifestyle habits, and it's just those few tweaks that really don't take any time, and you really don't have to be like an organizational genius. But if you just take a few steps that you're learning in this 3-day workshop, it can really make a huge difference. Yesterday, I talked about my number 1 tip for planning, and that is tracking. We went through the benefits of tracking. We talked about my number 1 suggestion for a tool for tracking and what the benefits of that was. We also talked about, is it better to track calories or macronutrients? And we talked about how to incorporate tracking into a busy schedule. So just to let you know, if you have not registered to receive the replays, the e-guide, plus you get a bunch of bonuses, I'm going to actually put the link on right now. It's going to be in the comments. So you guys can just register whenever you are ready. Oops, sorry, bear with me 1 second. Yeah, so I really suggest that you register because most people, they're not able to make all 3 live videos, and the videos are really valuable because they do come down from Facebook as soon as the workshop is over, which is tomorrow. But you can register up until tomorrow, and then what you'll do is you'll receive the replays, and you're also going to receive like some other cool stuff from me. You're going to get a food prep for everyone, a video about food prep. You're going to get a MyFitnessPal cheat sheet, and you're going to get some of my favorite recipes for on-the-go meals or snacks. So just an FYI. So that's actually in the comments. Let's dive in to day 2. And let's kind of talk about, why is it important to be the boss of your own kitchen? What are the benefits of eating from your own kitchen? So here's the deal, guys. First of all, the first benefit and the most important thing to think about is that when you eat from your own kitchen, you know the origin, the source of your food. There's no, you know exactly what's in it because chances are you prepared it. And especially when you're eating whole foods, you're more likely to have prepared your foods from simpler whole food ingredients. And really, your kitchen should be your home base for healthy living. It's really ground zero for a healthy diet. So it's really, really important that you know the origin of your food. There's no secret ingredients. Like when you make tuna salad, you know what's in the tuna salad. There's no sugar in the tuna salad. There's no flour in your omelets. You know, there's a good reason to get a little friendly with your kitchen. And the thing is that you can really sort of do your own research when it comes to buying responsibly sourced food. And you can decide what's most important to you. I mean, not everything in my kitchen is, you know, organic, grass-fed, you know, cage-free. Not everything is. I sort of pick and choose what's most important to me. But definitely one of the benefits of eating from your kitchen more than you may be now is that you will actually know the source of your food, and your kitchen is really your ground zero. Another great benefit is your kitchen is your safe zone. So this is kind of the same thing as I'm bringing up, that your kitchen, you know the origin of your food, but this is really goes a little more broad. So your kitchen is your safe zone. If you do what I'm telling you to do, which I'm going to dive into today about what you should take out of your kitchen and what you should restock your kitchen with, the truth is once you complete that step, you're going to have a lot less temptation in your kitchen. So it's going to feel pretty safe for you to make healthy choices. I mean, your kitchen should be your sanctuary. And when you eat more from your kitchen, you really save money. And listen, I think that's important for all of us. Why should we be putting extra money in the restaurateur pockets or the fast food chains pockets when we can really pretty easily, for just a minute, prepare some quick things that we can eat, and you don't have to be a cook. And I'm going to get into that in just a moment. But my theory is what you save on junk food by reorganizing your kitchen, filling it with whole foods, and spending a little more time in your kitchen and thereby eating from your kitchen, you can, if you'd like, use that money to buy more responsibly sourced foods. Or you can just buy a great bag. Hey, choice is yours. But bottom line is you really do save money, and the quality of your food is higher, and you know what's going in your food. And the truth is, a little bit of cooking is healthy for your body and your mind. So I'm not just talking about nutrition. I mean, definitely great nutrition, a variety of nutrition, which we're going to also talk about in a few minutes. It's really healthy for your body to have variety, but it's also healthy for your mind to spend time in your kitchen. You know, following a recipe or creating recipes. These are good ways for you to spend your time. Some people sit and read, they knit, they're watching the news. Those are great things too. This is just one more thing to add to the list to keep your mind healthy. One other thing you can do is spending time in your kitchen allows you to have variety. So here's what I mean by that. You have the ability to try new recipes, see what you like, and you can discover new flavors and new things. So like, you know, not a lot of people, sometimes when people come to me, they get afraid that low carb living means that you don't have variety. But the truth of the matter is there is a huge variety of whole unprocessed foods. And think about, for example, your produce department, okay? It's whole, it's unprocessed. Think about all the varieties of fruits and vegetables in that department alone. And I'm willing to bet that you only experience a very small, tiny, tiny fraction of what they actually offer in the produce. You're probably buying the same fruits, the same vegetables each and every week. What would happen if you went to the produce department and you decided each week that you were going to experiment with a vegetable that you've never tried? Or, by the same token, spices, herbs. These are another really cool ways to enhance your nutrition, but also, widen your variety and really add to the interest and the satiety of your foods. Another really amazing thing about eating from your own kitchen is it's healthy not just for you, but it's healthy for your family. So we're going to talk a little bit about other people living in your house and how you can truly be the boss of your kitchen, be a great role model for your kids, but also have the ability to take charge and to teach. Because listen, we don't want our kids living at Chipotle, living at Starbucks, because honestly, that's what's happening. So if you provide really delicious, colorful, satisfying food at home, your kids are going to be way more likely to be healthier, of a healthier weight, have the vitamins and minerals they need to grow, but also to be cooks themselves, or to at least have healthy kitchens. So you might be asking yourself just about now, do I need to be a great cook, or do I need to even really cook? Absolutely not. You really don't need to cook. As long as you are willing to do just simple tasks in your kitchen that literally could take just minutes a week, and we're going to get to that shortly. Some people would also be thinking, is this going to take a lot of time? I really don't have a lot of time. I can't be hanging out in my kitchen for hours on end, too much. But you know what? As I said before, minutes per week is all it takes. Let me tell you something. I'm a pretty busy person too. I work full time. I have children. I have a husband. I have parents that I care for. And I have lots of other responsibilities and other things that I want to do with my life. But the truth of the matter is, I spend really just minutes per week so that I can lose stubborn weight, so that I can maintain my healthy weight, so that I can feel and look my best and have optimal energy. So, in answer to that question, no, it does not take a lot of time. Now, here's another question you might be asking yourself. What about my spouse or my children? There are tempting foods. My kitchen is tempting. And let me answer by saying this. If you want to be the boss of your kitchen, then it's really time for you to take control. And we are going to talk about strategies that you can use so that you can manage things that might be tempting in your kitchen. We're really going to be zeroing in today on creating a low-carb kitchen that's healthy. And I'm really going to get very specific about what should be in your pantry, what should be in your fridge, what you're removing. So you don't have to write all this stuff down. If you'd like, just click on the link in the comments and I'll send you the whole e-guide plus all these video replays. All right, let's dive in, guys. So we're starting with the pantry, and the truth of the matter is most of the high carb culprits live in the pantry. So this is the place that's going to take that extra few minutes initially to clean out. So what's in, what's out? Let's talk about what you're getting rid of first. Wheat flours. You should really not need wheat flours for anything. And I'm going to give you some alternatives that work just as well, but are way lower in carbs to support your low carb lifestyle. Things like, cookies, crackers, chips, pastas, breakfast cereals, processed oils such as um, vegetable oils, the seed oils, canola oil, corn oils, soybean oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil. A lot of the seed oils are really highly processed. So that's why I mentioned just to get rid of most of them. But that's the part where you can use your discretion. Things like granola bars, those high protein, high carb protein bars, right? The healthy ones. Same with these healthy protein powders that are loaded with carbs and actually made with a lot of sugar. All those things are on their way out. Now let's talk about what's on the way in. And guys, while you're watching, go ahead, share with me. What do you have in your pantry that you recommend for a low carb diet? You can even type in if you're watching on replay. All right, here's what I'd be putting in my low carb pantry, and this is in my low carb pantry. Things like rice, quinoa, gluten-free. I recommend gluten-free. It really doesn't have to be, but ancient grains. So things that are not processed. So they are starchy and they're not necessarily low in carb, but in measured amounts, they can enhance a low carb diet. Things like dark chocolate, you may be keeping it there. I keep it in the freezer. Nuts or nut butters, that might go in the fridge. Legumes, like the cans or the bags of legumes. Again, this is a higher carb food, and if you ask in the low carb world, just like rice and quinoa, you're going to get 100 different opinions. My opinion is eating legumes, eating whole grains, things like rice and quinoa, not grains, but things that are gluten-free. Those things in appropriate amounts to match your energy levels are perfectly okay. You'll be also replacing the other oils with healthy oils. So things like coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, nut oils. Like I love walnut oil and I love that kind of stuff. And again, oils is something, there's a little bit of controversy over certain oils. You can use your discretion with that. Okay, I'm going to say hi to some people that are on. Hi, Bill. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Peggy. Thanks for joining me, guys. Good to see all of you. Now let's move on to our refrigerator. All right, so here's what's out. Regular butter, believe it or not. Margarine. Oh my God, margarine is so out the door. Non-fat dairy is out. Processed cheeses like cheese spreads are out. Processed meats, those with nitrates and a whole bunch of stuff that you can't understand. Sugar, the sugary salad dressings, the barbecue sauces, the ketchups, those high sugary yogurts. Like some of these yogurts have like 15 or 20 grams of sugar. They do not belong on a low carb diet. And believe it or not, non-fat yogurts, unless you're really in a certain place with your low carb living, I prefer what's in is yogurt that has fat. So I do prefer 2%. Now, every now and then, you guys tell me what you think. I like light and fit yogurt. They're flavored. They do give me a little bit of that sweet, artificially sweetened, but that sweet taste. So every now and then, if I'm kind of rummaging for a dessert, I keep those in the fridge, really mostly because my husband eats them, but every now and then I'll have one of those. But generally what's in is 2% or more plain Greek yogurt, especially if you're trying to get rid of those sugar cravings. Also, what you should be putting in your refrigerator is responsibly raised meats that are unprocessed, nitrate-free, things that are meats that are, they've been fed grass, can't think of the word, organic, cage-free. And again, that's where you kind of have to do your own research and make your own priorities according to your individual budget. But you should have a great selection of high quality protein. That's the one place in the grocery store that I really spend my money. I love to buy just high quality protein. So protein for me is the star of the show of the meal. And I don't eat excessive protein, but you really want enough that you're satiated and you're meeting the needs of every cell pretty much in your body. So cage-free, hormone-free eggs, the plain Greek yogurt that I mentioned. Instead of butter, I recommend grass-fed butter. Also in your fridge should be fruit, a tossed salad that's ready to go at all times, and leftovers. Now, some other possibilities are things like low-carb breads. There are some good low-carb breads that are pretty low and might satisfy your taste for that particular texture. All right, let's move on to freezer. Freezer, pretty much the only thing that I can think of that you should not have in there is ice cream. But you tell me if you've got some other bad stuff. I couldn't really think of anything else, but I can tell you what's in my freezer. I keep dark chocolate always, little individual wrapped dark chocolate that when I need a sweet, it's just a little piece of dark chocolate. It's frozen and it's super satisfying for me and does not trigger. I do stock just a small inventory of meats. I'm not one of those women that has loaded my entire freezer with, frozen proteins. I don't do that. I think it's a waste. And I'm pretty frugal when it comes to food. Frozen soups that have been prepared and portioned out. Frozen vegetables that are just vegetables. Leftovers, and we're going to talk about this more in just a minute. Frozen berries for smoothie. I also love things like frozen kale and frozen vegetables for smoothies. I also have frozen rice. It is rice that comes in pouches. It's gluten-free. It's organic. It's all good. So if I want to add rice to the meal, I can certainly just throw the rice in the microwave. Hey, Claire. So all of this info, you don't have to write it down. If you register to receive all the replays, you're going to get an e-guide with all this info. And you don't even have to listen to the replays if you don't want to. So once your kitchen is clean, it's time to put some fresh fruit out in a bowl on your counter. So that's a really lovely thing to keep front and center for you and your family. And one other thing I want you to notice. When we start getting rid of all these processed foods, the cookies, the candies, the ice cream, the processed, highly processed yogurts with a ton of sugar, the high fructose corn syrup based barbecue sauce, when we get rid of all that kind of stuff, suddenly, without too much effort, your diet is a low-carb diet. Funny how that works, right? It doesn't really take that much effort to begin a low-carb diet. I mean, all you really have to do to start is to eliminate processed foods. Now, granted, I'm taking it way a step further, and I've written a sugar detox for my upcoming program, 14 Days to Sugar Freedom. Guys, that's coming. We start March 11th. So I'm really excited about that, but I'm going to tell you about that another time and not get off topic here. So let's discuss about when you have like kids or spouse, how do you sort of manage their tempting treats? What do you do so that you're not tempted? Because let me tell you something. When you're buying junk food at the grocery store, you have to say no to it again and again until it's gone. So the point of purchase, whether you're buying for your family or you're buying for yourself, is super duper important. So let's dive into tips for what I'm going to call necessary junk food. So it's things that other people really like. So the first tip is, if someone else in your family really if there's something that you're buying for someone else that really, really tempts you, see if maybe they can live without it. Because, you know, like I said, I mean, if it's really that tempting, let them have it as a treat when they're out of the house. I know it's not always possible. It's just a thought if that works for you. But either way, when it comes to other people's junk food, the necessary junk, place it on a separate shelf, out of your line of vision. I used to make my kids bend down to the pantry, to like the lowest shelf, because I was never looking on the lower shelf. So everything in my line of vision was everything I could eat that was on my plan. So it's kind of like an out of sight, out of mind thing. And if you can, designate it to a completely different area, like do a snack drawer, somewhere where you don't even go in except for if you're coming from the grocery store. Keep the inventory of snacks limited, okay? Studies show that too much variety actually can cause you to eat more calories. So when you have like a ridiculous variety of stuff in the house, it's really not a good thing for you. Or for your kids or for your spouse. You don't want to, a little bit of junk food, a couple of choices is okay. Once you start like stuffing the pantry, not only is food going to go bad and you're wasting a ton of money, but you're actually causing your loved ones to eat way more calories, not to mention way more carbs and sugar than they should be eating. Hey, Pam. So fun, like watching people come on. I love it. Okay, so keep the inventory of snacks, and this even goes for yourself, just overall. You don't need to buy every low-carb product. You know, you don't need to buy every piece of produce, every brand of yogurt. Just buy small amounts of things. It will help keep you focused, and it will help make your decision making a lot more successful. I also like the theory of don't take out, crowd out. This is when it comes to people we love and trying to get them to engage in healthier eating habits. So here's what I mean by that. So let's say, for example, my husband, he likes to have his starch with his dinner every single night, and his preferred thing are mashed potatoes. And that's perfectly fine, and there's no judgment here. But of course, I love him, and I want him to eat healthy. So I'm fine with putting the mashed potatoes out, but oftentimes I'm going to have two sources of vegetables that are also out for him to enjoy, because I'm trying to give him other delicious choices, and I'm trying to crowd out the high starch choice. So, hey, Debbie. So that's what I mean by don't crowd out. I mean, crowd out, don't take out. So this way your family members won't notice quite as much. And you're just really putting more variety on the table, but the variety, these are healthy choices. And if you see that you're putting a ton of like starchy or even sugary varieties on the table all at once, not a good idea. On a side note, I have to tell you that when I entertain these days for dessert, I used to put out like an entire sweet table. And there could only be, 10 people or 8 people at my house. Nowadays, I really lower the amount of variety for sweets, even when I'm entertaining. So I'm going to put fruit and maybe serve a cake. That's it. Because what I'm hoping is that with lower choices, people will eat less sugar. All right, so another thing I suggest when it comes to dealing with people that you love and you want to serve them healthy foods is provide them healthy, delicious snacks in addition to their junk. So here's what I mean by that. My kids used to come home from school and like raid the pantry. And of course, back then I had this completely overstuffed pantry with way too much crap in it. And they just spent the entire afternoon eating crap. And then I'm making what I thought at the time was a healthy dinner. And then they don't even eat dinner. So then I got a little smarter. And I didn't shut off the pantry, but I did clean it out, as I'm suggesting here today. And I also had at the ready fruit. It was usually peeled navel oranges with popcorn. So yeah, it wasn't low carb, but they were young children, but these were healthier choices, whole food choices, as opposed to the junk that they were finding in the pantry. So here's a few things also to think about when it comes to feeding your family. What are the consequences of the diet that you're providing for your spouse or your kids? And do you feel good about it? If you feel that the people in your house are not eating well, is it worth your effort to just quietly, with some of the tips I've provided, help guide them toward healthier choices? I mean, how would it feel to watch your kid go for the fruit instead of the ho-hos? That would feel pretty cool. I know that would make me feel great. So, are you feeling like a boss yet? So far, we've gone through the whole kitchen. If you missed it, don't worry. You can just click on the link in the comments and get the whole thing via e-guide and replays. What you can do, we've talked about the pantry. We talked about, what's in, what's out, what are the benefits of getting a handle on your kitchen and spending just a little bit more time. Not asking you to be a gourmet cook here, just asking that you get a little more friendly with your kitchen if you're not already. So let's kind of move on, okay? I've got notes in front of me here. So your weight right now is the result of your decisions. And these decisions begin at the point of purchase, just like I mentioned. The grocery store is our point of purchase. It's the foundation of your commitment to your health goals. Your kitchen should be ground zero for you and your family when it comes to your health, because what you eat is more important than many other factors, including genetics, that do influence your health. So tempting yourself with sugary sweets found right in your own kitchen will only keep you tied to the diet merry-go-round. And we certainly don't want that, because remember, when you start bringing tempting, ton of processed foods into your kitchen, again, you have to say no over and over again until that food is gone. So really thinking about that point of purchase, and could it be affecting that stubborn weight that you've been trying to lose, or those cravings that just won't quit? Prepping your kitchen is one of the first steps to overcoming sugar dependence. And removing or moving foods that sabotage will decrease your level of stress, believe it or not. And if you're trying to gain control over sugar, it will also help you easily pass up temptation in other situations, because once you start eating whole foods, the cravings go away. Now, in all fairness, it is a tiny bit more complicated than that. And that's really what I'm going to be teaching in the sugar detox that I'll be leading. This is a small group sugar detox. It's called 14 Days to Sugar Freedom. And it does start on March 11th, as I mentioned. So everyone who's participating in this 3-day workshop, who chooses to join us for 14 Days to Sugar Freedom, receives a bonus call. And that's coming up super soon on March 9th. And that's when I'm going to be spending time with you to help you gain control over sugar, get your energy back, and really have the confidence to know what's possible. So this program is best for those who have tried but failed to overcome sugar dependence in the past, but you feel ready to get the support that you need to curb your cravings once and for all and lose that stubborn weight. I'm going to leave the registration link. Actually, the registration link is not ready to register for this program, but it's coming very, very soon. So I really hope you guys will join me for sure. But Now that your kitchen is all cleaned out and ready to go, it's cleaned out, it's restocked with some of the foods that I just mentioned. How can this help you plan for guaranteed weight loss? You know, when I made the title of this workshop, I thought it was pretty ballsy of me to use the word guaranteed weight loss. But the truth is, by taking my advice on these tips, it really will guarantee your weight loss success. So I feel pretty confident saying it. So this is how it's going to guarantee your weight loss success. You've restocked with low carb foods, because that's basically what unprocessed foods are. And I know I mentioned a few starchy alternatives, but you can work them into a low carb diet, not to worry. But how to have what we need on hand is really going to guarantee that weight loss. So yesterday we talked about meal planning, so we have an idea of what we want to eat and what's going to fit into our plans, and we talked about MyFitnessPal and using that as a tool. Today we're going to dive into meal prep. And meal prep is much simpler than you think. And literally, like I said, it's going to take you minutes per week to meal prep. Okay, so you might be thinking to yourself, do I need to be an amazing cook to like prep food and to do all this stuff in my kitchen? No. Meal prep is as simple as putting your yogurt and nuts in a paper bag and ready to go out the door with you. It's super, super simple. And it can be as complicated, of course, as you'd like it to be if you happen to be a gourmet cook. That's awesome. Does meal prep work? Does meal prep take up a lot of time? Again, no, just minutes per week. Here are the steps. These are simple, easy suggestions that you can follow so that you will have prepped food in a matter of minutes per week. First off, cook more than you need when it comes to your proteins, your vegetables. Even a healthy starchy side is fine. Have leftovers, you guys. Leftovers are your friend. They really are. Even if you hate leftovers, when you start preparing simple foods, here's an example. Let's say you're cooking chicken for dinner. Let's say your chicken is not so simple, but as long as you're ripping open the chicken breast package, maybe what you're going to do at the same time is throw in some simple seasoned chicken breasts into the oven along with that night's dinner. Now, maybe that night's dinner is some sort of recipe like my macadamia nut crusted fish I made the other day that is so delicious. I purposely bought extra fish so that I would have leftovers. Guess what I had for breakfast? Not even for lunch, but for breakfast, I actually ate the macadamia nut crusted fish, the cod. It was delicious. Okay, so you do want to make sure you cook more than you need and prep as often as possible. My second tip is to always have a simple green prepped salad in your fridge. And all you need is just to throw in a measuring cup, so if you choose, so that you can just kind of measure how much green basic salad that you're eating, or just have some sort of scooper in there. You could do this on an individual basis, like you see all these pretty mason jars, and you might see that in my video that I'm going to send to those people who registered. But you can also do what I do every week, and it's super simple, and it literally takes no time. I go to the salad bar at my local grocery store. I get a large container, and I throw in salad greens and all the low-carb veggies that I love. And literally, it sits in that container all week. I throw in my scooper, which happens to be a 1-cup measure, and I just measure it out. Pretty simple. What I also do is I have one of those choppers that I got from Bed Bath & Beyond, and I chop it. I chop the salad. So it's all good. It's all prepped, ready to go for the whole week. Now, to your salad bar salad, FYI, you can add some protein, you can add some cheese, you can add your salad dressing, avocado, whatever you choose, and you will have an assembled salad in probably under a minute. Easy, because you also got some of that leftover chicken in the fridge that maybe you even cut up. Okay, number 3, have on-the-go foods ready. Now, I'm not going to dive in. I know this video is longer than you'd like. I'm not going to dive into recipes here or suggestions for on-the-go snacks or meals. What I am going to do is include that in the registration. So if you're interested and you want to see that whole thing, make sure you register. But just a few quick suggestions are things like have cheese sticks ready, have washed and prepped berries, have cut up veggies at the ready, have nut butter packets, like buy the packets, get hard-boiled eggs. You could even buy this stuff pre-cut at the grocery store if you don't mind spending just a little bit more. All right, last tip, post grocery store prep. Here's what I mean by that. In order to really be the boss of your kitchen, in order to have what you need on hand at the ready, it might take a little prep unless you're buying stuff pre-prepped. So if that's the case, give yourself about 10 or 15 minutes after you've unloaded your groceries. Don't even put that head of broccoli or that huge thing of celery in the fridge. Keep everything on your counter ready to go, because your next step is you're going to wash and cut and just put them into containers. And what you could do is even put them into individual containers if you want to, if you plan some on-the-go meals. Or you can just put it into one big container like the salad bar. That's fine too. Okay, you can even buy like back salads, I'm just saying, or pre-cut veggies, and then there's no prep. All right, so I came up with an acronym for the word PRO. We've been using the word PRO in this entire workshop, plan like a pro. And here's what PRO stands for. Plan and prep. The R is reuse, as in leftovers are your friend, and the O is for organize. So the last question we're going to discuss is how to organize your week for weight loss success. I'm pretty busy, as I mentioned before, so I'm going to give you a few tips. I'll share with you exactly what I do. So, number 1, I only go to the grocery store once a week. And I know that many of my friends visit like all the local grocery stores. They get this from that store, this from that store, etc. And I recognize that there are a lot of specialty grocery stores out there now, and they have wonderful items. So what I do is my regular grocery store is a grocery store that I can get lots of healthy foods that I choose to eat. So I'm not shopping at a bad place. And so I want to go back there every single week, just once per week. And my grocery list is sort of building throughout the week. You can keep a grocery list on your phone. You can use Alexa if you have, the Amazon products or the Google products, whatever. They have their own grocery store benefits. You can also just write it down on pen and paper. But I go only once a week. And then here and there, maybe once a month, I'll go to certain specialty stores and kind of stock up on things that I like. Also, I think about the week ahead. So I try to plan as much as I can. And at the same time, I remain in a flexible mindset, because as much as I'm planning, prepping, and tracking, things change, and that's okay too. So I actually buy a little less than I think I need. That seems to work better for me because I really hate wasting food. So guys, this is how you can be the boss of your own kitchen for guaranteed weight loss success. It's really just an investment of just literally minutes per week, and it can yield benefits for a lifetime for you and your family. Thank you so much for watching day 2 of this workshop. Guys, day 3 and our final day is tomorrow. It's at 8 o'clock in the morning. Yikes. Someone will be in their jammies. Coffee, jammies, totally allowed. And don't forget that registration closes tomorrow to get all the replays. We're going to close the registration tomorrow. also, just to let you know, tomorrow we're going to be discussing just a way that you can have a life without feeling deprived. And this just all goes along the lines of planning, because we're going to talk about planning for your social life. So thank you again for watching, and I will definitely see you here tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. with coffee in hand, and I'll see you then. Bye, guys.